educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work podcast, where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here is your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
I thank you very much for tuning in today. I have a wonderful guest. We're going to actually have some fun today, y'all. I have the CEO of Sharpen the Spear Coaching. He is a 30-year seasoned entrepreneur. He's also the best-selling author of Escape the Owner Prison, The Contractor's New Way to Scale, Regain Control, and Fast-Track Growth While Loving Life. A speaker and podcast host, he's a husband and a father of 6 children. I don't know how he's able to do all that with 6 kids, but he's also a U.S. Marine, a champion boxer, black belt, and an internationally recognized steel sculptor. His specialty lies in combining both the strategic and the tactical. He's able to deliver immediate problem-solving results along with strategic long-term implementation of systemization and scalability. With over 30 years in business himself, he has embraced time, compression, sharing the secrets and strategies that bring rapid and lasting results to the companies he works with. I thank y'all very much for joining today. And like I said, we're going to have some fun. Richard, thank you very much for coming to the show.
Maurice, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Sure, no problem. So, hey, y'all, we were back in the green room and we were talking about opportunities and giving back. So we're going to start with first giving back. We really enjoy that space of giving back, helping all of you that's listening grow your business, finding your why, all those type of things. So Richard, how do you enjoy giving back?
Well, it's kind of an interesting thing, and everyone's got their way, right, Maurice? Mm-hmm. So people, Target likes to put, we gave $50 million away this year on a big sign as you're checking out, like, aren't they wonderful? And who knows where that money's actually going, but they like to beat their chest about it. That's all good. I am kind of in the biblical realm. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. Like, can I give? So I like to give locally. Okay, that's one thing. I want to impact people around me. Like if someone comes up to me with and I'm just, hope people don't get angry, with a little pink bucket and say, give to breast cancer awareness. First thing I say, who doesn't know about breast cancer? Like, secondly, I go, and where's the money going? Well, I don't know. Yeah, there's some little 8-year-old kid just milk. I'm like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'd rather go to the oncology department at a hospital and put $100 underneath the guy's pillow. Then he gets all of it. Or she,
right.
I want to see the change. I want to make a difference. I get nonprofits and all that. I'm not an anti-nonprofit guy by any means, right? But it's really, and I'll give you a quick example. So our church, we created a 501c3.
Okay.
But what we do is we help the community and all the things going there. The women's shelter, the this. What do you need? Oh, we need paper products and shampoo, and we got 80 women, and so we get the big 4x4 boxes, on the pallet,
right?
Put them in shirts and bring shampoo, fill that whole thing up. Now they got shampoo for a year for 80 women. We give them that because now they can save the real money, the cash,
right,
to do important things.
Yeah,
but buying shampoo, you got to have it. So let's help them with that. And we do that to, the men's shelter, same thing. We provide meals. We go there, we cook, we provide meals for them. We stay the night and work the night shift for them, right? We do things like that make a difference right there. So for me, that's a big part of it. From a business standpoint, I love to allocate a percentage of profits to whatever that might be. A lot of my clients do that. Hey, it's a foster placement agency, and I give 5% of my profits to that, right? They'll do that, like 5%. And these guys aren't making a couple hundred; they're making $10 and $15 million, right?
Right.
You get, that's a lot. That's a gift too, right? So a lot of different ways to do it. Your time, which is the most valuable, that's the most difficult gift to give, is your time. Money's kind of easy, right?
Yeah.
I drop it in the bucket, but your time, that'll test you. That will test you.
So how important is it really for us to give? Because you know what, Richard, I just started out and I'm only making, as of right now, I'm only making $100 a week. And I hear you, and it's really on my heart to give, but I feel as though I can't part away from that because I need that $100. So how important is it really for me to implement something like this if I feel as though I can't afford it?
So I'm going to go somewhere with this. Okay. So I'm just going to, again, this is my view, right? God isn't impressed by giving of your excess. He's about giving your last, right? You're in excess to still give the time. Then you don't have the money, you got the 100. Go give your time. Okay. If you're just saying I've only got this, but I only got 100, but you really only need 85. Well, here's $15. Okay, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So don't you can give out of your lack, and God will bless you for that, even more so. Jesus said it right. The widow with the 2 mites, put it in the pan. All these other people are giving out of their excess. All beating her chest, look how much money I gave, and she gave her last 2.
Right.
Right. So that's my view. But you always have your time. You always have your time to give. So do that. Don't give money. Give your time. It means more.
And I asked that question because one of the things you had mentioned, which is, hey, you want to be as impactful as possible. And sometimes that giving up of your last or something like you said, like it's easy to give up of your access because you would have wasted it on Burger King or Wendy's or something stupid anyway, right? But it's more impactful when you feel as though you can't give it and you give it to someone else. Not only is it impactful for that individual, but it's also impactful for you.
Right.
Because your heart is feeling full and grateful and things like that. And say, hey, you know what? I helped out someone else that's in need. And there's something like this podcast is giving up of our time. Because we are helping any and everybody. Like Rich, like just talking to you in the green room, help me out. It keeps up the energy. It keeps you motivated. It's like, hey, I'm doing the right thing. So sometimes you don't realize, as you stated, time, how valuable that is. And it could be just a word. It doesn't always, like you said, it doesn't always have to be monetary.
Yeah, I think it's really important, Maurice, because like this podcast, your podcast, we're on here, we get the one word, the one episode that someone tunes in to hear and gives them exactly what they need at that moment. This is one person.
Yep.
So you might have 1,000 listeners, 1,000,000 listeners, but you help that one person, right?
Right.
But that you made a difference in that person's life. Could have changed, and it can be all you hear testimonies all the time.
Right.
I was going to end my life. I heard this. I didn't do it. I heard the song. I heard this. It's one thing. So I think in what I always thought about podcasting was I'm speaking to one person. And that's it.
Right.
So it's you and I. Like you and I, we're having a conversation, and probably one person's listening.
Right.
As they're making their coffee and walking around and petting the dog and whatever. And it's maybe it's important, maybe it's not. Right.
Right.
But we're here for that.
Right. And so when it comes to the business part of this, how is it or why is it important for the organization as a whole? Because we talk about more individuals, right? Now let's talk about the corporate perspective. We hear about these corporations that are trying to give back. They're focusing on communities and those type of things. Why would it be important as I'm building my business for my company to start practicing this as I move forward?
Because 2 things. First, obviously it's a good thing to do, but you will get recognition locally. Right? Those are they your customers, or are you in a room and you serve, I don't know, Taiwan? I don't know, right. Like who you doing business with? It could be everyone in the whole country, but they're still you're part of the country, and there's people, right? So you want to, and again, you can go do things. And it's not like you need to put a banner up and say, "Look, I gave."
Right.
You don't even need to put it on your. Honestly, and I talk about this in my book too. But just do it. You don't need credit. You don't need the credit for it. Go do it. It'll be recognized by those who matter. Most people who are like running a shelter or doing whatever that thing is, they have influence in the community.
Right.
Okay, they're raising funds. Right? Do they raise funds from poor people? No, they raise funds from people with a lot of money who want to do big things and help in a big way.
Right.
Wow. What a neat network you could get introduced to because you gave some time or gave this. Didn't look for credit, but all of a sudden you're at the dinner where they're having the fundraising dinner, and now you're rubbing elbows with these big hitters.
Right.
And all of a sudden opportunity is falling in your lap because you gave whatever it was. Right. This is the unseen benefits. Because it's not, it's not your net worth is based on your network. Right. So you got to understand it's who you know, not what you know.
Right.
So you get an opportunity to sit with people where you want to be. Right. So what a benefit to giving and not looking for glory.
Right.
Just give, and then, wow, you're on the list now. Oh, I'm going to go to the dinner. It's awesome.
So as I'm sitting here, I'm listening to what you're saying. What is the one word that comes to my mind is, or phrase or idea, is that I am building my brand by doing this, because we're doing marketing, advertising, word of mouth, all those type of things. But the word brand is about how other people view me, their reviews of me, so if it shows that I care about my fellow man, my community, whatever it is, I'm really building up my brand to a place that you can't even imagine, because sometimes rubbing your arms with those individuals, you have zero idea what the opportunity is going to be.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important. What you said is really, really critical, because your brand is what people feel about you. It's not your logo; it's your brand. Right? It's what they feel when you see Coca-Cola or FedEx. They look at FedEx and goes, "Why can't we do our regular mail through FedEx?" That's what I feel. Okay, it actually would get there. It'd be amazing.
Right.
So, but at the same time, right? You want to think about, I can do it. It's building goodwill. What people feel about you. They know you're good people. And when you have a team and you have employees, 5, 10, 15, 50, they're on the same mission. They're in the same vision. They're part of fulfilling it. You may even go to your team and say, "Hey guys, I really been thinking about we need to give more. Like as a company, I want to give more. Give me some suggestions locally." You'll see them pour in. Oh, I got the dog rescue. I got this. I got that. You'll get the whole thing, right? I mean, I had a client. They give a percentage of all the things to a dog rescue thing. Like that's what he's into dogs, and they give. That's where their money goes. No judgment.
Right.
Whatever you're into, man, that's your thing. And all the people and guess what? All the people work with them are dog people. Go figure. Right. So like, if you don't like dogs, you don't work here.
Right.
So we give money to the dogs. So, and that's all good. Right. But again, it's whatever you want to do. We can all give back in some aspect. Again, time, money, whatever you can give. There's a program called Craftsmen with Character. Okay, now it's pretty national now. Guy started here locally where I'm at. And he started bringing kids, teaching them the trades, getting them set up. It's a whole semester course they take. They go to a business and they go through every aspect of the business. Right? They learn it. They're like, 2 hours this week, 2 hours here in sales, in production, in this, in marketing. And they get to see, do they really like this? Oh, that's it. They learn it, right? Then they have classroom work and they talk about character and being the right person and all that kind of stuff, right? And really encourage. The Navy picked up on this. They've been doing it for like 10 years.
Wow.
A little bit of text. Navy just dropped millions.
Wow.
With him to say, you need to get that. We need people who can work with their hands. We need people who could, where it's a major shortage, right?
Right.
So he just did this because he felt like, let me do this, created it. There's no cost. He doesn't look what it went into. Right now he's influencing everyone in the country.
Right.
It's amazing. That's because he started by giving. Just giving of his time, created all the curriculum, all that on his own. And he built that whole thing up, and now look at it. So everything starts with those humble beginnings. I'm telling you.
And I think we don't put enough stock into it, because something you started off with, we can donate to something, and sometimes that stuff doesn't get to where we want it to get to.
That's right.
We hear about it on the news, and I'll give you an example. Back when Katrina happened, and again, I'm up here in Philly, and I was part of an organization that was sending stuff down, products down. Well, for whatever reason, the truck never made it. So you kind of wonder, Where did it go? What happened to it? Or did it get down there? They just didn't report it or whatever it was. It felt as though that it did not happen. So now people are now gun shy, right? Of pulling the trigger to say, hey, you know what? I want to give. I want to support. So I think those type of things kind of pull people back. Also, it looks like everybody always has their hand out anyway. So now I'm also gun shy with that too. So I think there's some challenges with those type of opportunities.
You know what's really interesting with that? We do a thing. We do a back to school backpack giveaway. Loaded with school supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 300 people. We don't give it away.
Mm-hmm.
We charge $5 because there's dignity in $5.
Mm-hmm.
So just free. Who's gonna come? I'll take $5.
Right.
I will sell them on the side. You know what I mean? So it's like they sign up for it. It's $5. They come in, they line up when we get it to. We have some other stuff going on. That's what we do at our church. Right. So now they have dignity. They're not just taking a handout because they can't buy books and pencils and whatever. And they're loaded with stuff.
Right.
Great backpack loaded with all the stuff their kids need, and $5. So there's a lot of ways to think differently. Like you're saying, like, I'll send a truckload of stuff, and you have no idea where it's going, who's getting it. It's going to get robbed. It'll get taken. Some guy. I mean, who knows, right? We see it around the world. That kind of stuff happens. But making an impact that matters. That's why, again, locally, or when we're in control, we're business owners, right? If you look at it from business, like, I get things done.
Right.
I'm in charge. I know how to organize things. I'm going to make sure this gets where it goes, and the people who it's intended for are going to get it. That's why this is going to become funny. The March of Dimes. You know why they call it the March of Dimes?
No.
Because that's all anyone gets is a dime when it's all said and done. Okay, I don't have money because all the administrative costs, right? Maurice?
Right.
I mean, that's those kind of things, right? These things have. There's a great book, and I'll share called Toxic Charity. Like read a really good book. I don't know the author right now, but it really talks about how to make your giving matter, how to not do it and be condescending or make people feel like they're in lack. It's really like, how do we truly help people?
Right.
We're going to lift people up. Right. You can't just give people, we've seen that for 60, 70 years, that just give people stuff, right? We know what it's done to cultures. It's destroyed them.
Right.
People don't work. They want the handouts. They all want their own entitlement. It's all that, but we want to give it with dignity. So if we can give and give people not just what they need and help them, but give it with dignity, give them dignity.
Right.
That makes a difference.
And in addition to that $5 idea, I think something like that, it gives people investment, and depending on the situation. So saying for an example, a nonprofit organization that I've been working with, we had a summer camp. Everybody had to pay $5 a week, because that $5 was an investment, and it showed commitment, and you're going to want to at least get your $5 worth.
Well, the saying, right? When people pay, they pay attention.
Right.
It matters. Skin in the game. Anything. It doesn't matter the amount.
Right.
Okay. People will do it. They put skin in the game. They want to get that. Right. So it's powerful, but again, it gives them, like, you're not saying you have nothing coming, we'll take care of you.
Right.
Like, that's not building anybody up.
Right.
You're keeping them down. That's actually a negative. Let them earn their way there. Hey, we got a working party though, 2 hours a day. We do a working party. The rest of the time is summer camp. You're going to chop wood. You're going to haul this stuff. You're going to dig this, right? We're going to clean this stuff out. But that's like 1 hour a day. 2 hours. You're going to earn it, and then you're going to have a good time the rest of the day.
Right.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I mean, it's awesome.
Right.
So, but they don't think that way though. It's got to be all fun and games. It's all got to be, bells and whistles. Like, no, let's work, man. Let's break a sweat.
But
let's get dirty.
But see, I don't think that culturally, we're in that space. Everybody wants fun. Everybody wants to. No one wants to put in that work. No one wants to learn a trade. Because all these things matter.
They want to be entertained.
Right.
Just like kids, they want to be discovered, not developed. I want to be an influencer. Why? Like, who are you? Because you look good.
Right.
So give me the purse and it's like, you got to be developed, man.
Right.
Every overnight success only took 10 years.
Right. Right.
Okay. I mean, look how long you've been doing podcasting, right?
Right.
Me, I'm 35 years in business. Had to build it all up to number one, lose everything, build it all up. You know, I mean, I've
Right.
gone through iterations of this stuff. It's crazy, but here we are. We put in the time.
Right.
You know, whereas I like to tell you, I'm too dumb to quit.
Well, and the other part of that too, attention span. Everybody's in this 7-second, 10-second mindset. Like, you know, so if it's not going to turn over $1 million in 10 minutes, I don't want no part of that. Well, that's not how it works.
Right. I tell my kids, this phone, it can be either a tool or a toy.
Mm-hmm.
You decide.
Mm-hmm.
For me, because my kids would tell me like years ago, Dad, you don't have any games on your phone. I go, because that's because Daddy don't play games.
Right.
That's why I tell them I don't play games. And they're like, I've never played. They've never seen me play video games. I never have. I go, listen, the last time I played a video game was when Atari came out with Pong in the 70s. Okay. And that was interesting for about a week, and I never played it again. Okay. So that's, that's my claim to fame.
Right. But no, Richard, you know, I appreciate you coming on the show. You know, I think you've provided great information, and from a perspective that we still spoke about business, and from a perspective that most people don't look at. We get caught up in our services that we're providing. Like you said, we get caught up in our marketing. Does our logo look right? You know, what are the colors? You know, we don't even understand from a marketing perspective, even what colors and stuff mean and how they touch people even deeper. But, you know, but it looks pretty, you know, so I thank you very much for coming on and sharing the importance of giving back, no matter what the form is or the platform. Is the best thing for us to get the best return as business owners.
Yeah, you know what I love the most? I had no idea that's what we're going to talk about today. I love it.
Yeah, man. So like I said, thanks for coming on the show. Please let everyone know where they can talk to you a little bit more about, you know, giving back or even exit strategies and those type of things.
Yeah, so let's do this. I've got a great for startups. I know a lot of your audience is in the startup phase. Whether you've got an idea, you scribble something on a napkin, that's where it all begins. Okay. So I call it ignorance on fire. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing this, right? And you just get running and good. And I love those people. I love you startup people. So what I have is a thing called startupcoachingcall.com. Okay. It's a weekly live coaching call that they can subscribe to. Right? No contracts, anything like that. It is $99 a month. It'll be the best $100 you've ever spent per month. We do live Q&A. We coach. They bring their problems. They bring their issues. What do they got? We set stuff up. We bring on guests. It's an amazing place. It's every Monday night. It's awesome. So if you go to startupcoachingcall.com, read the website. It'll tell you all the information they need. You can subscribe right there. That's the best thing I can do for new startups because it doesn't exist out there. You're not getting my 35 years of entrepreneurial experience. It's all real world, Maurice. This isn't foo-foo, get an accountant. And this is like, how do you get off the launch pad?
Right.
How do you get to profitability quickly?
Right.
How do you do that? We'll show you how. It'll be a great place. And that's my biggest offer. I think it'll be awesome for your audience to do that. And I'd be excited to see you on the call.
So everyone, as you well know, the website will be in the show notes. You'll be able to follow Richard on social media, all those type of things. But Richard, I thank you very much for coming on the show.
Maurice, thanks for having me. This was like a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, especially before the green room.
Right.
This was fun. It was awesome.
So we're going to keep the fun going because I still have one more question to ask you. My would you rather question.
I like those.
So, would you rather choose 3 doors or a fork in the road?
Oh, I'm a fork. I'll take the fork.
Any particular reason?
I have greater control. And I see a path. So I know they both go somewhere. The door you can open, it could be a brick wall. I don't know. I'm a fork in the road guy.
So now we're gonna get a little deeper. I mean, now granted, there were no parameters, right? So would you say you're a fork because of your business mindset, military mindset, or was that just the way you were from a kid?
Yeah, let's call it my contrarian mindset. Okay. Oh, look, everyone that way. I'll go over here. That's where it really comes from. I've just naturally, all I've been a contrarian.
Okay.
I just see things differently. I just, and it served me very well as an entrepreneur, obviously. But I think it's important to be careful with the crowd. Be careful. Be skeptical of the crowd. Everybody's going that way. I think I'll hang back a little bit. I'll see how many fall off the cliff first, and then I'll think about going over there. So
wow,
it's served me well.
Cool, man. I appreciate that. That's a great insight. To be honest, that's a great insight.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And of course, y'all, again, thank you for listening to That Will Never Work podcast. And I will talk to y'all a little later.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Chisholm Group LLC and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work, or will it?